Welcome, a yoga movement short using a block. So we'll start on our back, feet a comfortable distance width apart, feet a comfortable distance away from your hips, and then just balance out the weight between the right and left side of the hips. And you can do that by rocking them from side to side and then coming back into center with your hips, and between the top and the bottom of the hips. And you might do that by arching your back a little bit and tucking your hips under a little bit, and noticing when you arch the back, the weight in your hips moves towards your tailbone. When you tuck your hips under, the weight moves towards the top of the hips and back, and then coming to a place somewhere between those two extremes. So again, weight balance between right and left side of your hips and the top and the bottom of your hips. From here, we're going to grab a block, straighten the left leg along the ground with the knee and toe pointing up to the sky, and as much as possible, well, gently, actively root that left leg into the ground. With the block, you're going to take the block on top of the left leg, the block between the thigh and the hip crossing over that left hip crease. And now the block is going to give you feedback to hold the left leg nice and steady and still, to help hold your hips nice and steady and still, arms just someplace comfortable, and nice full deep breaths here. When you feel ready, trying to hold the hips and the left leg nice and steady and still, slowly start to lift the right foot up off the ground. And then maybe slowly trying to grab the belly of the right thigh with your hands. And when you do that, you might lift your head and shoulders up off the ground. But once you have that, slowly try to relax the head and shoulders back into the ground. And once your head and shoulders are back into the ground, slowly start to let the head and the shoulders feel heavier on the ground. And if your chin's lifted a little bit here, that's okay. But maybe try to extend a bit through the top of the head, trying to feel the middle of the back of your head nice and heavy on the ground as you keep the left leg nice and grounded and rooted, and start to pull gently this right leg in towards you more. Breathe. Nice full deep breaths. And then if it works for you, you can slowly walk your hands to the front of the right shin here and keep on pulling that right leg in towards you. As you feel it even through the hips, as you root down to the left leg, and the shoulders and the back of your head feel nice and heavy on the ground. Breathe. We have a second side. So when you feel ready, let go of the right leg. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg along the ground, knee and toe pointing up to the sky. And again, pressing down to that right leg, to the block between your thigh and your hip, anchoring down. And then when you feel ready, with your hips nice and even, slowly lift the left foot up off the ground. Nice full deep breaths, moving the left foot in towards the face. And feel free to stay here, or grabbing the left thigh with your hands. And then if you lift it up to do that, that's fine. Then maybe slowly relaxing head and shoulders back to the ground. Maybe letting head and shoulders root or get heavier onto the ground. You notice when your head and shoulders came back down that your chin was lifting. Maybe try to lengthen out the crown of the head and bring more of the back middle of the head towards the ground. Breathing the whole time here. And then maybe even walking your hands to the front of the shin and pulling that shin in towards you, as the whole time you keep the right leg nice and grounded and heavy. Breathe. Nice full deep breaths. Okay. As you feel ready, let go of the left leg. Bend both knees for a moment, soles of the feet to the ground. Take the block in between your hands long way here, and stretch your arms towards the sky. And feeling the back of the head nice and heavy on the ground here. Exhale, press the shoulders into the ground, put the shoulder blades on the back. Inhale, lift the shoulders away from the ground, put the shoulder blades off the back. Exhale, press the shoulders into the ground, put the shoulder blades on the back. Inhale, lift the shoulders away from the ground, put the shoulder blades off the back. Exhale, press the shoulders into the ground, pull the shoulder blades on the back. Pull the shoulders on the back here, balance out the weight between the right and left side of your hips and the top and the bottom. And if it works for you, but only if it works for you, straighten both legs along the ground here. Knees and toes pointing up to the sky, press down through the legs here. Keep your spine nice and neutral, core engaged, shoulders and back of the head nice and heavy. Inhale, stretch the block up overhead, back for the wall behind you. Exhale, stretch the block back up towards the sky. Inhale, stretch the block overhead, back for the wall behind you. Exhale, stretch the block back for the sky. Inhale, stretch the block overhead, back for the wall behind you. Breathing here, nice, full, deep, complete breaths. And then as you feel ready, exhale, stretch the block back for the sky. Bend your elbows. Put the block over to the side and bring the arms into an airplane position, palms facing towards the sky. With your knees and toes still pointing towards the sky, open your legs wider apart here. Still keeping the hips nice and balanced and even initially, but then slowly start to relax and release out through the legs. So just making your way into Shavasana. And as you relax, your legs might roll in or out a bit here. Breathe. Always feel free to hold Shavasana as long as you want. Just releasing the breath. And have a wonderful day.